Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name's Liana and today I'm going to be taking you through a recipe, one of my recipes. It's a chickpea pasta dish and I make this all the time. It's one of my favourite meals to have and that's because it's very high protein, very high nutrients, minerals, vitamins, and yeah, it's just a really good meal to add to your day. So I'm going to be taking you along and you're going to see all the steps of the process. I'm going to show you the ingredients and stuff that you're going to need to make the meal, and yeah, I hope you enjoy anyway. Please like, comment and subscribe for more, and yeah, enjoy the video.
So here I've put all the ingredients for this batch meal into Chronometer, and shows you here this is for the whole batch, so I would usually half this, but when I was bulking I was eating the full thing. I was cooking the whole pan up and eating it for lunch and then eating it for dinner, but now I'm able to slice it in half and then I have it. So if I'm cooking it today, I'll have it today and then I'll leave a bit over for tomorrow then. But yeah, this just shows you all the ingredients that's in there. And then that's all kind of the quantities that I would put into the one pan. But yeah, I'm just going to show you here because it's actually really covers a lot of nutrients. So this is just for one meal, well, one half of a meal, you know what I mean. Iron, calcium, vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin B12, folate, and I'll just show you here. So there you go, all the B vitamins. There you go. And again, this is just from one recipe. And there you go. Loads of minerals hit too. And then protein as well. Lots of protein there. So as you can see, that obviously says 96.5 grams, but that again is for the whole pot. So if you're having the whole pot, which I was when I was bulking, I was getting 96.5 grams, but at the minute I'm only having half of that, so that's what, 45, 40, 46, 40, about 48, I can't count right now, but yeah, you get my drift anyway for the one meal. But yeah, I just think that the macros for this meal are very good, very high protein, very high mineral, very high vitamins, and it tastes really nice as well. So yeah, try it out for yourself. So it's 48.25 grams per serving. Lots of protein. So to work out the calories for the whole lot, it's 1,583 per the whole cooked up portion, but then I half that and that brings that down to 791.5. so that's the calories. That's the calories per halved portion. Calories. So this is the ingredients that you're going to need for this meal. I always use broccoli and then some spring greens, but you can use any green you prefer, like kale or spinach. I also use chestnut mushrooms and some lovely cherry tomatoes. Then some tomato puree, some chickpea fusilli, a can of chickpeas, and then these are the seasonings. So there's mixed herbs, dulles, Himalayan pink salt, and balsamic vinegar. Now, balsamic vinegar contains a compound called acetic acid, which really helps aid healthy digestion. That's why I love putting it on my meals. Dulles here is completely optional. So in this recipe I'm using chickpeas, but you can also use lentils or any kind of bean just for an extra protein source. So this is the exact brand of chickpea pasta that I use, and it's just 100% organic chickpea flour. And then per 100 gram uncooked, it is 20 grams of protein. So it's a very good protein source and it keeps my protein high for the day. Yeah, so as you can see, it's organic, 105 a day, high in fibre, high in protein, and that's why I prefer to use these kind of pastas instead of normal wheat pasta, just for the protein content. So yep, here we have some red lentil pasta, and this actually has more protein than the chickpea pasta. It has, per 100 gram uncooked, it has 26 grams of protein instead of 20, so an extra 6 grams. But I prefer the chickpea pasta. I think it's nicer. And then this one's even better. So this, per 100 gram uncooked, this has 42.3 grams of protein. So that's quite high. It's a good source of protein. Yeah, so for the base, the sauce, you need some tomato puree, and then you also need some lovely cherry tomatoes as well. At the start of this recipe, I said I used about 8 cherry tomatoes, but I ended up using 12. And these are the exact mushrooms that I get just because they're enriched with extra vitamins, so B12 and vitamin D. And because I'm such a water snob, I use filtered water from the fridge instead of tap water. Because I don't care what you say, there is most definitely a different taste to tap water than to filtered water. So yeah, you're going to want to fill the kettle right up, because you need quite a bit of water to cook this whole bag of pasta, because it really does expand. The chickpea pasta in particular really does expand. So yeah, I just fill it right up, fill the kettle right up, and then pour it into the pan to cover the pasta. Make sure you always wash your veggies, because you don't want to end up with eating any pesticides. What you want to do first is to coat the bottom of the pan with the Italian herb mix, and then you want to start cutting up the tomatoes and put them at the bottom of the pan. You want to do this first off so that the tomatoes cook down nicely to make a nice consistency for the sauce. So yeah, that's all the tomatoes cut and on the pan, and then you leave that to cook for a while with the pasta. Just a wee tip, make sure if you're using chickpeas or beans or lentils to rinse them also, because that reduces gas and bloating that you can get from these foods. And when you're done with any kind of can, make sure you rinse it out and peel the little paper bit off and recycle it to help save the plant. So as I'm waiting on the pasta and the tomatoes to cook down, I just wash some more veggies. I'm washing the broccoli here. Yeah, so now you want to add the chickpeas to the dish once the tomatoes have cooked down, and then you just spread it out over the pan, making sure it cooks evenly. And then you want to add the tomato puree, and then after that you're just going to mix it up again, make sure it's nice and equal throughout. Now you want to chop your broccoli and add it to the pan to cook. Some people may just chop their broccoli before, but I just prefer to do it with the scissors as I'm going along. Next step is to add your mushrooms, and again you can already have these chopped, or I just like to chop them up as I go along as well. You can use as many mushrooms as you like, but in this particular day I used 4 mushrooms. The next step of this dish, you want to add the balsamic vinegar into the pan, and it only needs a little splash or 2. So now you want to add your choice of greens into the pan. They are the last things to cook. Once the pasta is drained and added to the pan, add a generous amount of salt. So as I said before, the dulse is completely optional, but I just add it for a source of iodine. And this is the nutritional yeast, and this is absolutely essential in this recipe. You add it to the recipe the way you would add cheese to pasta. It's a real nutty, cheesy flavour. It's lovely. So make sure you're extra generous also with the nutritional yeast, as it really adds that cheesy flavour to the pasta dish. So I'm just showing you the size of this pan in comparison to my hand, so you know what size you're going to need. And you must make sure to wipe down the counter after you're done, so that your mummy doesn't shout at you. I don't usually measure out this dish. I just fill this bowl here, and it usually ends up being about half the pan. Just showing you here that I used about half the pan then, and that's enough to fill this bowl up to the top. So as you can see, when I was on my bulk and I was eating this whole portion, so the whole pan that I showed you that I cooked, I was eating it for lunch and then was eating it for a later meal then, dinner. And you can see, so I was covering, just with 2 meals, I was covering 96.5 grams of protein, which is brilliant because then I only needed 130 grams. So it already hit 74% just with 2 meals, and then also the 80% targets as well. I just think that's brilliant, the way that you can hit all these things with like such a nutritious meal. Yeah, it's really tasty as well.
So as you saw from the recipe video, I don't use any oil when I'm cooking. I prefer to have my fats, eat my fats whole, in whole food form. Oil, a tablespoon of oil is 120 calories, and to me that's just a waste, and I'd much rather save the calories for much later on, or I'd much rather have the whole food than have a refined product. I also noticed oil really affects my skin, so if I eat like highly processed vegan products or products with a lot of oil in it, even if they're vegan, it breaks me out, breaks my skin out, and I always feel like a layer of oil on my skin always the next morning. And if I don't have oil cut out of my diet, it's my skin just wakes up and it's clear and it's fine. So that's been one thing that's really helped me. But also, like I said, if you're trying to cut, say, doing that and just cooking with a bit of water on the pan is so much, you save yourself so many calories, and you wouldn't even realize the amount of oil that maybe you're sometimes putting onto your pan. But all this recipe needs is water. Wee bit of water on the pan and it'll do you good. It's just as nice. But yeah, so I really hope you enjoyed the recipe anyway, and if you end up making the recipe, please tag me on Instagram. I'll leave my Instagram in the description box below. But I hope you really enjoyed the video anyway, and I'm going to try and make more recipe videos just to give you a bit of idea of what kind of food that I eat and how I hit my protein target and stuff. But yeah, again, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. I really appreciate the support. Honestly, anyone that's given me any support over the past few days from when I started my videos, it's really warmed my heart. It's something I've always wanted to do. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and stay tuned for more. Have a good day.